Hey, it's Lowry Smith of the CommanderSmiths here with Searching for the Spotlight, Zangief the Red Cyclone. Now, we're going to work our way through it. We'll read through all the cards that I'm anticipating to try and use, and that takes about an hour. And then I go about another hour after that to cut cards down and try and I get in the 70 card range and cut from there. I don't get in nitty gritty. You don't have to see that part. But, card choices, I think probably are the most interesting if you're looking to build this because then you get to, you can go different directions. You don't have to build my build. It's casual and stuff like that, but it should be fun. Most of my decks end up being fun. And I enjoy them. Biased, but so Commander Smiths is a podcast that comes out weekly. Generally, the audio comes out on Wednesday, and we generally record live on YouTube Monday nights. This week it's Thursday, so just in a couple days here. And yeah, we put out a lot of content, I guess shorts, and we're kind of on Twitter, and we have a Patreon and a Discord for our patrons. We do giveaways. We have a big giveaway coming up if for once we hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. It'll be big. Playmats, specialized cards, misprints, miscuts. Uh, so a lot of cool, unique things that we're looking to give away, along with the 30th anniversary countdown kit. That's the 30-year packs, if that makes sense. Maybe you don't care, but it's a really cool thing. And it was a mess to try and get. So if you didn't get one, maybe sign up your or sub and comment on a video that we will be making soon. But easiest way is just to sub right now, and then you'll be up on the knowing. Um, yeah. So that's kind of it. Let's look at Zangief here. The red cyclone. 2 and a black, a red, a green. A 7/4 human warrior. Zangief must be blocked if able. As long as it's your turn, Zangief has indestructible. So kind of like Zergo Helm Smasher in that regard. And I thought of cards from that as well. And then whenever Zangief deals damage to a creature, if that creature was dealt excess damage this turn, that creature's controller sacrifices a non-creature, non-land permanent. So somebody has to block it when it attacks, and more than likely it's going to be dealing excess damage, and so they're going to have to. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 on the attack. There's plenty of removal that kind of thinks like that. Like if you want to be fighting, this could be a fight deck. I went with just like direct damage, and you'll see some of those guards as well. But I think this is really cool. Like I said, I had some inspiration with Zergo Helm Smasher. I do, if you want to look back, I do have a 5-color um Sisay Captain Weatherlight deck that I built on stream, and that was really centered around Zangief. It was kind of a loose build, and it was all right. It was pretty mediocre just because you're fitting in so many ideas into the deck, and so it kind of got diluted because you're trying to have like something that works with Dalsim and Chun Li, and they're all really cool cards, or Blanca, and I think I just, I got rid of that deck. You can still go watch it, but I want to focus on Zangief, and I think I'm gonna like that a lot more because I got rid of my Naeth fighting deck kind of for this because I knew it would feel very similar. So moving on, we're gonna go with one CMC at the beginning here, and this will be about. So there are fight cards. I know I said that I wasn't going that theme, but it's not that theme. So Ulvenwald Tracker is a 1/1. You can pay 1 and a green, tap it. Target creature you control fights another target creature. And so Zangief does not specifically state combat damage. And so when it is dealing damage, like in fighting, and if it's excess damage, they have to sacrifice a non-creature, non-land, right? So Ulvenwald Tracker is a cool card. Repetitive. The biggest problem with fighting that I was having was like Zangief is 4 toughness, and when it's not his turn, when it's not your turn, it's not indestructible, and that can kind of leave it vulnerable, especially when it's fighting. So I just wanted to stay away from most of that, but repeatable removal, like 2 for oneing is pretty good. Um, the other thing too is when it's not your turn, it isn't indestructible, and so having ways to be able to protect it is pretty important. And there's a couple of different ways and ideas here that we can go about it. But Malakir Rebirth is there for any creature, but one black. I shouldn't say the CMC, but choose target creature. You lose 2 life. Until end of turn, that creature gains whenever this creature dies. Return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So it doesn't work against um, exile effects, but generally in Wraths, be able to just go pinpoint on Zangief, save it, it comes back, and then you're able to just kind of attack people with creatures, or if they're just open, go for that as well. Supernatural stamina is that same thing, having the creature come back when it's killed. Bone Picker is 3/2 flying death touch. Essentially, you are a deck that is killing other people's creatures and you're very focused on that. And so Bone Picker can be a 1 black mana, super easy to come out death toucher. And I'm thinking that I can go with Death Touch as a half theme, and I might have to add in like some pretty cheap cards that I didn't go digging for. But the idea is, if this creature fights or deals direct damage to any other creature, the Death Touch takes effect and kills that creature no matter what, however much power was dealt. So if people are really picking on Zangief, the Death Touchers are going to be able to take over quite nicely. I kind of wanted to find something that was first strike, and the only thing that I could really find that give everything first strike was a Chroma's Memorial, and I'm not 100% sure it's in here. We'll know at the end, and if not, I probably have a proxy pretty close. We play proxies, so you will see some of them. Vampire the Dire Moon, Death Touch, Lifelink, really cheap, so it works in this idea. Dark Ritual, beautiful French black border, old school. Undying Evil is that same thing. Instant speed. When the creature dies, it comes back. And so just looking at that. Sticky Fingers. This is an aura, red aura, when enchanted creature has menace. And so the cool thing about that is it's not saying like Zangief doesn't say it has to be blocked by one creature. It's saying if somebody has 2 creatures, they have to block it with both those creatures. So you might be able to get it to trigger twice. Um, so that's pretty cool. So, and then if it does deal damage, you get a treasure token. That's also cool, but being able to kill 2 creatures along with, you know, that's a big swing. Deflection Swat is there for any spot removal on Zangief. It's a great card. Use it. Deathrite Shaman. I consider this the best 1 mana creature out there. It's basically a planeswalker. It's ramp, it's gain life, it's removal or like life loss for everybody. It's good. Elves of the Deep Shadow is black ramp. And no ignoble hierarch is red, green, and black ramp on a creature. Um, oop. Tamio Safekeeping is another spot protection. So green instant target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn, gain 2 life. So another one of those protections for Zangief potentially. Bequeathal. If enchanted creature is put into any graveyard, draw 2 cards. So essentially it's 1 green. You place it on your opponent's creature you're about to kill with your spot removal. You kill it, you draw 2 cards off of it. That's the point of that. Caravan Vigil is 1 green sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. If a creature died this turn, you get to put it into play. So for 1 green, that's pretty nice. Blossoming Defense is green instant. Target creature gets hexproof and +2/+2. So that instant speed protection. Vines of the Vastwood is there for the instant speed protection as well. Rancor is an aura that gives +2/+0 and has or gives trample. And if Rancor goes into the graveyard from play, goes back in your hand. So it gives Zangief a little extra oomph along with coming back if Zangief dies. Birds of Paradise, great ramp. Sensei's Divining Top is always considered and almost always makes the deck. It's a damn good card. Shadow Spear is giving Zangief +1/+1 trample lifelink. It's a big swing for you. Soul Ring, Infiltration Lens is cool. It is an aura that whenever a equipped creature becomes blocked, Zangief has to be blocked. You get to draw a card or draw two cards. So that's some nice draw for you. That's probably going to make the deck. Weather Bloom Apprentice. I'm kind of taking this one from Renshai. I have Liliana in here as well. But whenever you cast a copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses one life, you gain one life. This potentially is spell slinging. We'll see where it ends up, but that's kind of a nice little deal here. Golgari Charm regenerates all of my creatures or gives all creatures -1/-1. So another one of those protection spells. Death Cap Cultivator. It does get a Death Touch, and that's why I would consider it here. But otherwise, it's black and green at 2 mana for the creature. Shovel, Bane of Monsters, gives a bounty counter. And if one of those creatures has bounty, you gain and they die. The bounty creature died, gain 3 life, draw a card, and it has Death Touch. The Death Touch part is like, oh, maybe this does work. Teamer Battle Rage gives Zangief trample and double strike. It's solid card. Psychotic Fury gives Zangief double strike, and you get to draw a card. So we'll see. Not without double strike isn't so hot without the trample. All right, smoke. 2 red enchantment. Each player can only untap one creature during his or her untap phase. Now this hurts your ramp, but making it so people can't really swing out at you. And I think it's a good balance, and you're just allowed to just untap Zangief. It works in my mind. 12's Trickery is countering a spell and protecting your stuff. Madcap skills is the +3/+0, and Menace, the Menace thing, they have to block with 2 creatures and potentially sacrifice 2 other permanents. Guild Artisan is a really good background if command a creature you own have whenever this creature attacks a player. If no opponent has more life than that player, you create 2 treasure tokens. So Zangief can swing away. You're gaining 2 treasure tokens. It's nice. Elysian Carotid. This is 2 mana, and this will produce 2 mana for you, which is kind of nice. Probably like this is probably a cheap Bloom Tender. If I don't have Bloom Tender in here, I should get it in here. We'll see. And then Whisper of the Wilds. When Zangief is in play, it'll tap for 2 green. We'll see. Oakheim Adversary. This is here for the Death Touch, but it's when it deals damage to a player, you get to draw a card as well, and it costs 2 less if anybody has a green permanent. So it's nice there. Wrap in Vigor regenerates each creature you control. Another one of those protection cards. All right, getting into the dealing damage part. This is here for the blood. Red and a green sorcery. There's a split card. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. That's nice. You can cast Flesh at the same time, but it is mainly here for blood. But Flesh is exile target creature card from a graveyard. Put X1/1 counters on target creature, or it's the power of that card exile. So, but there for blood and upside for Flesh. Bite Down is having Zangief deal its damage directly to another creature, so it's removal, and it is pretty sweet. You're not putting Zangief at harm. It's instant. It's 2 mana, and it's basically a 2-for-1. Isochron Scepter. We'll see how many of that style of card makes it into the deck, and then if there's enough, Isochron Scepter can imprint and repeat it. Unlikely Aid. Target creature gets +2/+0 and indestructible. This is one of those protections. We'll see just what we end up with. Baleful Mastery. You almost always pay the 2, exile a creature, they draw a card. And or planeswalkers on that too. Gifted Aetherborn is 2 black for a Death Touch lifelink, 2/3. And that is again within that theme of Death Touch. Blood Artist. I'm guessing some creatures are going to be dying, so let's gain some life off of that. We'll see. That's kind of like one of those extra themes that might not fit. So we'll see where everything lands. Dousing Dagger. When it ETBs, it's an equipment, and you get to give somebody 2/02 green plants with Defender. It gives the equipped creature +2/+1, and if it deals damage, it transforms, and it's giving you 3 mana. Lost Veil. It's a pretty sweet card. I don't know if this makes it other than like from like, okay, you need creatures, you need to block and end up that way. Like I said, potential for a lot of spells. So Burning Prophet, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get to scry one. That's what it's there for. I like the card a lot. Strionic Resonator is there to copy the sacking trigger. So Zangief deals the damage. They're gonna go. That's the trigger happens. They have to sacrifice non-creature, non-land. You copy that. They have to sacrifice two. And that's the goal there. Goblin, a Necromancer, and Narcomancer. There we go. Red and green spells cost one less. Doesn't double up. So Driven to Despair. I like this card a lot, and I think it's going to work for me in here. But until end of turn, Driven is part of it. But until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and whenever it deals damage, you draw a card to a player. And then same thing, but it has Menace in your graveyard. And whenever the creature deals damage to a player, that player discards a card. I think it works in this deck. And they also no +1s. All right. Another one, Destined, is it's giving a destructible, but also all creatures able to block target creature this turn do so. So Zangief has to be totally blocked, and then you can potentially have them sacrifice a lot of stuff. Setessan Training, this gives trample, and when it ETBs, you draw a card. We'll see. Sylvan Library, great for the draw. Heroic Intervention is great for the protection. Balloon Tender did make it in here. All right, so that taps for essentially 3 color mana in this deck. Ram Through is a damn sweet card version, but it deals damage equal to its power to a creature, and the extra deals damage to the creature's controller. Let's see. Target creature you don't control. If that creature you control has trample. Oh, if it has trample though. And there's definitely ways to give Zangief trample. So it works in here. There's Thrash and Threat. So this version has it deals the damage to another creature, and then Threat creates a 4/4. So it's here for the Thrash, but the upside is nice. A lot of split cards in here, which is kind of cool. Armed, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. And then the dangerous, all creatures able to block target creature this turn do so. So another one of those lure effects for a turn, which is nice. You don't have to have the lure effects around forever because you're basically going to be killing a lot of somebody's creatures and they ain't going to be happy with you anyway. So I don't know if it's going to last once you kind of do a half-ass wrath. We'll see. Prize Fight is a fight card, instant speed, and then you get to create a treasure token, which is nice. Season of Growth, whenever a creature ETB scry 1, and then whenever a creature you control is targeted by a spell you control, draw a card. So that should happen. That probably works. Swiftfoot Boots is nice protection. Arcane Signet is ramp. Inscriptions of Abundance is something you can kick, but it's there for the fighting, essentially. Hammer of the Fall is a current curated. So I talk about cards that I like to use or am using, and then talk about it in a short video form. So this deals the damage. It's a good, cool card. Rampant Growth is there for getting land in place. Same thing with Sakura Tri-Builder. Invasion Plans. This is a red enchantment. Each creature blocks whenever able. So this is kind of like a permanent lure effect. Attacking player chooses how creature blocks, but it's pretty sweet. Bestial Fury. This is a red aura. Draw a card at the beginning of the next upkeep. And then if enchanted creature attacks and is blocked, remember Zangief has to be blocked. It gains trample and +4/+0. So pretty cool there. Tenza Godo's Maul. It's going to give Zangief +3/+3 and trample for 3 and a 1 as an equipment. Not too bad. Ravenous Slime. Whenever it's there, basically, because I'm going to be killing creatures, those creatures get exiled, so they're not going to come back. And then Ravenous Slime grows and like +1/+1 counters for its power that's dead. So cool, kind of like Crush. Crush is coming up later. Falthus Shadow Cat Familiar gives menace and death touch. So it's fantastic for Zangief. Wood Elves is just getting a land into play. Same thing with Farhaven Elf. Ronus the Indomitable. It's a 5/5 death touch, indestructible. It'll block all day with Zangief out, and then you can also pump Zangief, give him +2/+0 and trample with that ability. So nice there. Wild Defiance. Whenever a creature, green enchantment, whenever a creature you control becomes a target of an instant or sorcery spell, that creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. And so I can attack, cast the damage thing on it. Maybe there's some trample, and it's getting pretty huge. Alluring Scent is a sorcery speed lure effect. Everybody, all creatures able to block it have to block it. Curse of Clinging Webs. This is a curse enchantment, green enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enchanted player controls dies, exile it, and you create a 1/2 spider with reach. Beast Within is fantastic, and also giving them a creature that they have to block with if you're doming them. Family's Favor, a green enchantment of whenever you attack, put a shield counter on target attacking creature. Till end of turn, it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, remove a shield counter from it. If you do, draw a card. And so you're going to get a shield counter on it, which it's going to be blocked. That's the point. But it gives it that extra protection later on. So if somebody does kill it, you get to remove that shield counter. And it's much harder to kill. So Soul's Fire is target creature you control in play deals damage equals to its power to target creature or player. So this can go to the player, to the face. That's a nice thing. Leyline Prowler. This is 3 mana creature. It has Death Touch, Lifelink, and then taps for any color of mana. We'll see. Band Together. It's a green instant for 3. Up to 2 target creatures you control each deal damage equal to their power to another target creature. So this is probably where like the death touch idea came into play. Like 2 creatures can kill 2 creatures, 2 for 1 style. Oh, Soul's Fire was already in there. Painful Truths is there just for card draw. Curse of Disturbance. This is there so that people keep on. It's kind of giving people creatures so that can always be attacking them and always having them getting rid of their artifacts and enchantments and stuff like that. Hellish Rebuke is if somebody's all out attacking me. Hopefully, I'm not dying. And then they got to sacrifice their stuff. So a little bit of a sacrifice theme because Zangief is a sacrifice effect. Hellish Rebuke is also a sacrifice effect, and they're losing life. So we'll see. Read the Bones is in there for drawing cards. Saw in Half. We'll see. I haven't seen a lot of ETBs, but you know, it's something that I want to start trying fitting in. And you know, sawing in half like a wood elf is kind of cool, and we'll see what works. I should actually say it. So what it does is destroy target creature. If that creature dies this way, its controller creates 2 tokens that are copies of that creature, except their base power and half the creature's power, and their base toughness is half the creature's toughness, round up each time. So if I destroyed one of my wood elves, it'd create 2 wood elves, which is nice. Oh wow, you got 6 or 7 spiders out of Curse of Clinging Webs. That's pretty sweet. Oh, you pulled a galaxy foil of this too? Gorgeous. I bought a single of it. I wasn't willing to wait. I knew I wanted one. So, and I'm a cheap bastard. All right. Let's see here. Not doing too bad on time at all. We're about halfway done. Um, Sedgemoor Witch is a black creature. It has menace itself. It has ward, pay 3 life. And then whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token. So that's just a little bit of like that spell slingy feel that I think I want for the deck. And so Magecraft is something that I want in there. Under City Scrounger, black creature, and it taps to create a treasure token. Activate only if a creature died this turn. Like I said, creatures are going to be dying against this deck, so you're going to be creating tokens. or treasures. Agent of the Fates. I think it's going to be perfect in here, but it's that death touch idea again. But whenever you cast a spell that target agents, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So you target, and then you're killing essentially three other creatures. So Morbid Opportunist. Whenever one or more creatures die, draw a card. Only triggers once. Going to be drawing a bunch of cards off that. Mary the Kill Queen. This is a black creature, and it has whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, exile it with a hit counter on it. Um, oh, you were playing Dulcim. Nice, nice. Uh, and then whenever assassins, mercenaries, or rogues you control have death touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a hit counter from it, and then you get to draw a card and create two treasures. So she's an assassin. That's essentially all it is there, but it is like that exiling creatures when you're killing their stuff. Also, Hooded Blightfang. Black creature, death touch. Whenever a creature you control with death touch attacks, each opponent loses one life and you gain one life. So that kind of works in there. And then death touch actually kills a planeswalker. Eternal Witness to bring back anything. Champion's Helm is +2/+2 and hexproof for Zangief, just on an equipment. Maelstrom Pulse is just some nice removal. Destroy target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. Chaos Warp is fantastic red removal. Always suggest that. Mayhem Devil. Um, Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. So Zangief is a sacrifice effect. That's treasures, clues, fetches. There's a lot of stuff that Mayhem Devil can work with. Magar of the Magic Strings. This is a red black creature. You can pay 1, a red, a black. Note the name of target instant or sorcerer card in your graveyard and put it into the battlefield face down. It's a 3/3 creature with whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may create a copy of the card with the noted name. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Then, if this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. So, this is a way to like recast those instants to create more removal. Should be cool. I like it. All right. Rhythm of the Wild. Creature spells you control can't be countered, and non-token creatures you control have riot. So you want to. This is a way to give Zangief haste, essentially. Feeling left out, so you decided to build this also. Are we talking about me? Did somebody else build Zangief other than like? I know there are people that build Zangief. Like I'm not the only person that builds decks. Hockey. Come on. Mage Slayer, equipment of whenever this creature attacks, it deals damage equal to its power to defending player. So we know that Zangief is going to be getting blocked, but just being able to attack with it is dealing 7 damage to that player too. Brutal. Domri, Monarch of Bolus, creatures you control get +1/+0. You get to ramp a little bit and it can fight. So nice little planeswalker there. Glissa the Trader. First strike, death touch, still in the death touch range, but whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So, as artifacts are sacrificed or drawing or whatever need be, you get to bring it back to your hand as well and recast it and stuff like that. Tons of value. Toshiro Umezawa, black creature with Bushido 1. But whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you may cast target instant or instant from your graveyard. If that spell would be put in the graveyard, exile it instead. And so I get to, cast one of those non-fight cards, kill one of those creatures, do it again until I run out of mana or whatever. So it's pretty cool. Lure forces them to block Zangief, and this is a beta card, and I love it. Old cards are sweet. Kasori Gama, that part doesn't matter. But whenever equipped creature deals damage to a blocking creature, Kasuri Gama deals that much damage to each other creature defending player controls. And so, as long as that damage isn't prevented, they have to block it. It's going to board wipe them. It's going to be awesome. Cultivate for that land ramp. Konama's Reach for that land ramp. Savala, Heart of the Wilds is there. You're going to be able to, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if the power is greater than every other creature's. And then you can pay a green, tap it, add Zangief's power to your mana. Should be sweet. Reaper of the Wilds. Whenever any creature dies, scry 1. You can give it Death Touch or Hexproof. Mizzix's Mastery is a way to recast your removal cards from the graveyard. Just kind of depends on where you're at there, but it should be cool. Visions of Ruin. I've really enjoyed this card. So it's 4 mana. Everybody sacrifices an artifact. You get 3 treasures. This is 5 mana for me. I already have 3. So if I have 2 left over, I can do it again. Nice removal. As long as, everybody's sacking too. Storm Killed Artist is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery or a copy, create a treasure token. Torolf, God of Fury. Now, this is a cool include here. Whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, Torolf deals damage equal to the excess to any target other than that permanent. So, all those Zangief deals the power to that creature that rolls over and can kill another creature or can go directly to the face. Pretty cool there. Frontier Warmonger, red creature. Whenever one of or more creatures attack one of your opponents or planeswalkers they control, those creatures gain menace until end of turn. Like I said, menace is going to force them to block with 2 creatures if they have it. Halana Kessig Ranger, green creature, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay 2, and if you do, it deals its power and damage to another creature. So kind of works, but I think it's maybe not going to work. Oh, actually, hold on. You may pay 2. When you do, that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Dope with the death touch creatures. All right. Goreclaw, Terror of Cal Sisma. Green creature. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 or 2 less to cast, which is Zangief. And then whenever it attacks, your creatures of power 4 or more get +1/+1 and gain trample. So again, pretty sweet. Questing Beast, green creature with death touch, and then it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and so it can't be jumped. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever it deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. So it does kind of a lot of little stuff. But I just like it for the death touch and the potential to kill somebody through a Teferi's protection. I'm gonna take a little drink. I think I'm liking where this is going. I'm definitely going to be done with card eval before an hour. So, Seraph, the Viper's Fang, which is sweet. Green creature. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. So Zangief gains Death Touch as well. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. And so it's always kind of gonna be tapped, but you can pay the one to untap it to give it that Hexproof. But Trample and Death Touch are one of my favorite things too. So we'll see where this goes. I like it. Silent Arbiter, no more than one creature can attack, and no more than one creature can block. Artifact. Ashling the Extinguisher. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, choose target creature that player controls. He or she sacrifices that creature. This is pretty unique in that sacrifice almost, other than this card, I'm pretty sure, is sacrifice is the choice of whoever has to sacrifice. This, you're like, you have to sacrifice that. And that's pretty unique in that regard. Cool. Yeah, it's always fun. It's fine to build the same deck as a buddy as long as it's a different feel and stuff like that for sure, Paul. So Ashling's kind of cool there. Kalidas, Trader of Get. If a non-token creatures, you exile non-token creatures, and you get to create a 2/2 zombie off of it. So again, more creatures, pretty sweet. Gissa, that same thing. Exile a creature, you get a decayed version, zombie version of it. So Seize the Day is giving Zangief extra attacks, which is nice. Nayeth of the Dire Hunt, it's basically there for whenever one or more creatures you control fight or become blocked, draw a card. And so Zangief's always going to get blocked, and so you'll always be able to draw a card. I don't know if that 4 mana is worth it, but you also get to double his power potentially with that. Poison Tip Archer is there. Whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses a life. Also had death touch, so it works. Death Reap Ritual. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, you may draw a card. That should work in here. Culling Ritual. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add a black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Um, I think it gets a lot of like the smaller stuff out of there. All right, Vraska. Planeswalker. You may sacrifice another permanent. If you do, gain a life and draw a card. Destroy target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less. That's its -3. And then the -9 is you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. We'll see. I might just cut that right now. I don't know if I like that. Namada? I'm not go away, Reg. I'm not doing stacks. Come on. Come on. Namada is there for the exiling a creature and creating a sapperling, and then you can do a couple of things with the sapperlings, whatever. But 4 mana ain't too bad. Urbrask. I do, yeah, I talked about Tibalt Trickery, Renshai. Urbrask, no. Urbrask is bad. It's probably good in Prosper. That's about it. Zyra, the Golden Sting, kind of like a bounty counter, so you can put an egg counter on something, kill it, and you get a 1/1 black insect creature token flying. Yeah, we'll see. Double Vision is for copying those instants and sorceries. Seed Guide Ash. I think I put this in here. This is a cool card, but I was potentially going with more wrath effects, and so I wanted this to actually die. I don't have any way to kill it though. But whenever it dies, search your library for up to 3 force cards and put them into play tapped. That's some major ramp for you. Um, but nah, we'll cut that. Garuk Primal Hunter. It's there basically 5 mana for the -3. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. That's pay 5, draw 7. Not a bad return. Same thing with Soul's Magistry. Drawing cards equal to Zangief's power. Kresh of the Blood Braided. It gets +1/+1 counters on it whenever a creature dies, so it can get real big real quick. Gift of the Deity. 5 mana aura. Do I have the token for Garrick? You mean like the 6/6 worm? I have a 6/6 worm. Yeah, baby. I have a 3/3 beast as well. Are we talking about like a Garuk's Dong thing here? Is that what we're doing? Gift of the Deity. Aura. The Tong token. We don't have a Tong token yet. We'll have to talk to Adam about that proxy though. Right? All right. So Zangief would get +2/+2 death touch and allure effect. So kind of cool. We'll go acidic slime. ETBs destroys a non-creature target, and it also has death touch. Gift of Doom. This is you play it in the morph, and then you sacrifice another creature. It flips, it gives Zangief indestructible and death touch. And that works. Burning Anger is a 5 mana aura. Enchanted creature has tapped. This creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. I think this works everywhere and anywhere because of the death touch. So this I like it. Black Market. Black Enchantment. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on it. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add black to your mana pool for each charge counter on Black Market. So nice ramp there potentially. Stinging Study. No, we'll get to that. We're right there. Let's talk about that right here now. So Chandra's Ignition is target creature deals damage to each creature and player um the amount of damage that it is. So each creature that you deal that to your opponents, they have to sacrifice those many non-land, non-creature things, right? But but it affects you too, right? So whenever Zangief deals damage to a creature, if that creature was dealt excess damage, so that counts for you. So Chandra's Ignition, if you're in a creature heavy deck that I think I'm in, it's a bad card. I put it in here specifically to talk about that, and that'd be rough if you're having to sacrifice your stuff as well. Um, but maybe you use it. Yeah, yeah. If this turns into a low creature count, like I wish I had more sacrifice outlets in here, but I don't. So if you're going that route, I totally think you can do it. And maybe you don't care either. Maybe you're like 5 mana to wrath everything. That's pretty sweet. Um, even including yourself and just having Zangief left over in everybody's lands. Like, that's cool. I don't think I have a problem with that. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. Stinging Study is 5 mana for drawing 5 cards and losing 5 life. I've found this card to be quite nice. Tigrid, this is where I'm a jerk. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. They're sacrificing stuff. You're going to be taking control of it. Tigrid in the 99. I'm going to try it. We'll see if it makes it. We'll see if I feel bad. Archfiend of Depravity is a black creature flying. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures he or she controls, then sacrifices the rest. Again, sacrifice theme, keeping the board low so Zangief can kind of control it a little bit more. That should be nice. Backdraft Hellkite. Whenever it attacks, each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. And then so you're able to recast those removal spells nicely. Traverse the Outlands. It is a green sorcery. And then if Zangief's in play, you get to go and put 7 basic lands from your library into play tapped. It's a crazy. Every time I've casted this on a big creature, I win the game. It's so good. Ruins of the Deuce. Aura. This gives Zangief +2/+2, double strike and trample. So a 9/6 double strike trample. It's going to end games quick. Xenagos is there to double his power and toughness. +7/+7. War Storm Surge. Whenever a creature enters a battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. And so that Death Touch is going to just kill creatures when they come into play. Runes of I did. I did. I do. How am I supposed to say it? Deuce. Do. De. De. Spell it out for me. I don't know if I've never said it right. So Warstorm Surge is going to be dealing damage with that Death Touch. Embercleave. I don't know if I like this card because really it's 5 mana. Cheated into play. It gets Zangief +1/+1, double strike and trample. We'll see. We'll see. Rishkar's Expertise with Zangief in play, drawing 7 cards, putting something or casting another spell. Pretty good in here. Professor Onyx is there for the everybody loses 2 life, you gain 2 life, and then I don't even know what that other stuff do. You lose life, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest in the graveyard. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with greatest power among creatures that player. So a little bit of sacrificing. And then each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not too bad about it. Harvester of Souls. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. Not too bad. Tetsumak, Primal Death. It is a black creature, Elder Dinosaur. But you basically just use up. You can pay a black, reveal it from your hand, put a prey counter on target creature, activate only on your turn. And then when Tetsamok enters the battlefield, destroy each creature with opponents with a prey counter on it. So, and it also has Death Touch. So on theme. Blasphemous Act is in play. Um, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I think this is left over from the Wrath idea. We'll cut that. Grave Betrayal. Whenever a creature you don't control dies, returns to the battlefield under your control with an additional 1/1 counter on it. It's a zombie. 7 mana has always been pretty high for this, but let's see if we can get this. Actually, um, all right, we'll keep it around for now. Torment of Hailfire is in there just because to get that last bit in. It's sacrifice, wrath. Maybe we would take stuff over. Killing Wave is also for each creature its controller sacrifices it, unless he or she pays X life. Um, I can just load everything into this, and it's going to wrath the board. Other than Zangief, it sacrifices. If I have Tigre to run, I get to steal all that stuff. It's pretty sweet. Not of this world. Counter target spell or ability that targets a permanent you control. It kind it's 7 less if creature you control is power 7 or greater. So protecting Zangief for free. Spinning wheel kick. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. So if you can hit a couple of creatures, you're doing pretty well for yourself. It that betrays, when they sacrifice something, you get to steal it again. It's an Eldrazi. And then the Great Henge. With Zangief in play the next turn, you are greening, and it's crazy card. That's what we got. That is what we have. That is the bit right there. We'll have to check out everything here. I still have not been corrected by Renshai here, but we're about 15, 20 minutes ahead schedule. I like this. I knew that'd be the case because I have a lot better idea of how this is going to go. I don't know how many cards are there, but less than 200, I'd say. Let's just put this into stacks of what's going on. This one is basically, let's see here. That's gonna be ramp. That's stealing. Maybe stealing's a section. What do I need to correct you on? I missed it. Deuce. Yeah, I said deuce. Runes of the deuce. How am I supposed to say Deus? De? Is it French? Is that what's going on? I don't speak French. I'm sorry. That's removal. That is protection. Removals. Oh, I did. Oh, you think I said it right? Deus? Oh, you know what? That's religious right there. I've heard All right, stealing, removal. Let's draw. I don't know what to consider that. If you want to sacrifice a creature, we'll consider that removal. Deus. Okay. All right. That's draw. That's kind of a pump. That is removal. That's a pump. That's a pump. All right. Draw. We'll call that graveyard shenanigans. Removal. That's stealing. Draw. Ramp. We got plenty of removal in here, so we'll have to. Oh, that's a good point too. What do we? We'll put the lures in the removal section. Exile effects. Draw. I don't know. The exile effects might just get tossed. We'll consider that secondary. All right, this is like a bounty. Flying haste. That's gonna be off. This is a Jund deck with no food chain combo. I don't feel bad. Why would you feel bad about that? That's that exile, extra creatures. That's removal. Draw. We'll have Death Touch. We have Death Touch. That's on the draw aspect. That's a bonus. Exile, exile, removal, protection. I don't know if that's worth it. Protection, Death Touch. It's kind of a pump, kind of ramp. I would put that more in the pump range. That's removal. We'll consider that removal as well. Ooh, that could be removal too. Ramp, um, removal. Graveyard shenanigans. That is consider that draw. That's much more of a ramp card. Ramp. That is for sure. We got plenty of removal in here. Graveyard shenanigans. We'll consider that graveyard shenanigans. This is removal for the fight. Big pump. Good night, everybody. Make it more stacksy. I don't think I can. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. But sleep well, sweet prince. Haste for protection and non-tokens. That's graveyard shenanigans. That's a good point too. I don't know what to do with that. That is just 1 point of damage. Removal. Removal. We'll keep it. Graveyard. Death touch. Death touch. Draw. Removal. That's just kind of there. Removal. That's destroy. Draw. Removal. It's kind of there. Draw. Removal. Or that's. Hold on. I did that wrong. Ramp and removal. All right. All right. Plenty go here. We'll be able to attack the removal section pretty nicely. All right. Protection. Removal. That is the exile section. That is a pump. Consider that more of a pump. Draw. Draw. Protection? E? E? Question mark. Oop. Just a pump. That's a cool pump. That's removal. Duh, duh. That's for the draw. Removal. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to slim this up decently quick. I'll be excited for that. Protection. That's draw. Ramp. That is a doubling effect. Scry. I don't know if I'd consider this ramp in here. This is like just giving people creatures. I don't freaking know. I don't think Blood Artist works in here. We'll cut that. Death Touch pile. Removal. Protection. Ooh. There we go. Was there another one in there? Removal, removal. All right. And that is protection. That's technically draw. Ramp, ramp, ramp. Boost. Consider that protection. Slowing people down. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. That is ramp. Protection. I don't really know where to put that. Draw. Ramp. Boost. Boost. Protection. Protection. Ramp. Draw. Ramp. 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 Protection. Boost. Protection. Ramp. Death touch. Death touch. Protection. Protection. And there we go. All right. I do think. All right, let's see here. How do we do this? I'm going to attack everything but removal at this point. Oh, these are protection. I don't know why I put those there. Plenty of protection. I think. I don't know if I want to go tokeny. Because I kind of like these, but I like the idea of the death touch, and I think I'd rather go with death touch. Is there anything here that makes me want to keep them? I don't know if I want to go wide. Oh, maybe going wide is better. or maybe having more repetition for Kresh or for Zangief. That might make more sense. All right, we'll cut the token generators and we'll go tall. No, hold on. Let's think about this, right? I'm gonna have Death Touchers to sit back, and then I need creatures that are gonna be able to like be a threat again. So I'm gonna cut. Yeah, I'll cut the tokens. I don't want a ton of exiles anyways because they kind of like affect each other, and so that's an easy 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts. Not too bad right off the top. We'll do that. All right, Death Touchers. I don't hate them. All right, I like Vampire, and I like Gifted Aetherborn. Shovel's pretty cheap. 1/3 Death Touch. Putting bounty counters on there. Probably works. You know, there's gonna be a little bit of draw cards there too. It's slow, but it works. And then deal whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. I'd have to see how many. Bone Picker's dope. We'll have to see on that. I think when we go through. I like my Death Touchers though. I like them. I do think we probably. All right, what are we doing here? We said we're not really going wide, but I still like. All right, Zyra I think is gone. It's kind of like a bounty, but it doesn't have attacks. Put an egg counter on another target creature without an egg counter on it. When that creature dies, create a one. Yeah, we don't. We'll get rid of that. I still like the idea of giving people creatures, but I think Curse of Disturbance probably doesn't work. Same thing with Dousing Dagger. I think I like Dousing Dagger more when I have like evasive creatures, something like Glen or Flying, especially not in green because then it's a really solid form of ramp. But in green, maybe not so amazing. We'll cut those two. Now, do I care so much about Witherbloom? I can't combo off with it like Renshai. I still like Sedgemoor Witch at this point. Psionic Resonator. Yeah. Um, Witherbloom Apprentice. Let's. I have a feeling I'm gonna want to get rid of Professor Onyx as well. And then if that's the case, like I don't care about Sedgemoor Witch, and we're just getting rid of almost the whole Magecraft package. That might be okay. Those make sense to me. I'm down with that. All right. I like Magar. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Glissa, Toshiro, Double Vision. I don't know if I like Mizzix's Mastery. I'm willing to cut that. Eternal Witness is one of those ETBs. Magar. I really like the idea of Magar in here. Do I have any other like red black decks that could work with? Maybe not. No, not right now at least. I think Eternal Witness is dope. I like Glissa the Trader. I think I need to fit a few more artifacts in here to make it work, but that's something that we can definitely do. I like Double Vision. I like Toshiro. I like Magar. Backdraft Hellkites. We'll keep that around for now. I'm right with that. Do I like the stealing? Like let's have an honest conversation. I don't know if I like these two. I think I might like Tigrid just because it's 5 mana. Loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. untap Tigrid's Lantern. I'll keep Tigrid or Tergrid around, and we'll cut these two. They're just expensive. All right. Um. All right. Let's look at these boosts. I like Sticky Fingers a lot, along with Rancor and um. Yeah. I like Teamer Battle Mage, but I think I might want something a little bit more permanent. Same thing with Psychotic Fury. I don't care so much about that. I like Madcap Skills. Setessan Training +1/+0 trample ETB draw a card. I think I'd rather have Bestial Fury at 1 more mana. Like it's a much more obscure. So I think I like that. But I don't hate that either. But I don't have a lot that can deal with auras. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many auras I really want in there. Setessan Training, I'm okay with at this point. I don't really want Tenza Goto's Maul. Probably get rid of that. I like Ronus. Wild Defiance, do I care about that? Probably not. Like if somebody targets it, like it's not. It's Mage Slayer is still dope. Goreclaw is. Let's look at this. I think Embercleave definitely gets cut here. I like Ruins of the Deus. Thank you, Paul. And Seize a Day. And Xenagos. Oh boy. I did not get rid of a lot of cards there. Power with power 4 or greater. 1, 2. That doesn't really matter. 3 with Zangief. 4, 5. 6. 6, but then those two have the chance I'd move. All right. We'll keep Goreclaw for now. Oh, where are we at drawing wise? Seems thin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Traverse is over there anyway. So that's at 19. Easy cut, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. We'll definitely have to get there. All right. Anything that I really don't like where this is going. I like Bequeathal, top, lens for sure. I like adversary with the death touch. I like those. I like driven here. Season of growth. Yeah. Reaper. Nayeth. I like Death Drop. I like these big ones that all draw me a bunch of cards. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Do I care about 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? I think I like the Death more than the Burning Prophet. And Nayeth, Prophet is cut for sure. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may pay 3. If you do, double target creature's power until on a turn. That creature must be blocked this combat I already had to do that, yeah. But the doubling of the power, is that something that I like more than Xenagos at 3 mana? I think I think I do. I'm willing to cut Xenagos. Oh, man, but that doubling of the power on something with trample, we'll have to see. I think I like Reaper. Protection is thick. We gotta cut that way down. Alright, hit that hour mark. Uh, hit the like button if, you're here at this point. It would be greatly appreciated. Remember to subscribe. We are doing a giveaway here, sooner rather than later. Alright, let's take a look at these bad boys here. Alright, so I was bringing stuff back. That is deflecting it? I don't know if that's kind of its own removal spell in itself, right? Hexproof, hexproof, hexproof. Regenerate. This is kind of its own thing as well. That's a regenerate. Indestructible. Indestructible. Sup, Essex? Thanks for joining. The Essex Ninetails. What's that name mean, man? Indestructible. That's also the hexproof. I like that menace part. I like that. I'm not a huge fan of Champion's Helm, I don't think. I don't think. And I think Seraph doesn't quite fit here. I'm gonna have plenty of Death Touch. We could probably cut that. I like Silent Arbiter. And this is a counterspell type card as well. I like Silent Arbiter. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. All right. Death Touch and Indestructible, which is not necessarily instant speed, but it's dope. Rhythm gives haste. Do I care about haste other than on Zangief, which is something. Oh, I don't have a Greaves. Oh, I don't know if I want a Greaves. I don't want a Greaves because I'm targeting him a lot. All right. See? That's why we talk this stuff out. All right. If I remember right, does regenerate get rid of auras after you regenerate? Somebody tell me. I don't remember. That'd be terrible. I'd have to see it how many ETB creatures I have. Same thing with that uncard that like fucking splits stuff. Where is that? Saw in half. Yeah. So like these work if I'm working with saw in half. I don't think that's something that I want to be doing actually. All right, we'll cut those 3. Not doing too bad there. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At that point, I want Swiftfoot boots in here for sure. And heroic intervention's hard to get rid of. I think I like this hexproof and indestructible to a creature. And this has a lure effect on it, so I think that pumps it up. I think I'm willing to cut these 4 at this point. Yeah, I knew counters. Been around. They've changed the rules a little bit, and I don't think I ever really understood back in the day how like it does tap though, right? When you regenerate, it all taps when it has to. So I think we can cut those 4. Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. I like to regenerate all the creatures and the potential to kill a bunch of little 1/1s, although that does affect my but that's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Way too many pieces of protection, but we're at least looking half-ass decent. All right. I like Traverse. I don't know if I like the Dark Ritual in this situation. I like Noble. Birds. All right, let's see here. Artifacts. We don't have that many artifacts, actually. I have to check that out. That is land into play, creature, I don't know, ritual, creature. That is a cost reduction? Artifacts, land, tapping for a creature. Yeah, all right. That is a treasure, land, tapping there. That's pretty good. I like that, and I like that. All right, let's take a look at this. All right. Looking at this, I have too many creatures tapping, so I definitely want to like calm down on that. So we'll get rid of like the obvious. Get rid of 1, 2. We don't need those. I think we'll get rid of Bloom Tender as well. It's a good card. It's for sure a good card. All right. We got the onesies. That's a death touchy, That's a potential to draw and a ton of mana. This is early ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. All right. We got rid of a couple there. I like the idea of Undercity Scrounger. I like Stormkiln Artist. Guild Artisan can be a little slow, like it's a late game in this one because Zangief is more expensive, but he's perfect in here. I think I'm gonna get rid of these two. I think they're we'll see. I think I'm fine with these artifacts at this point. Up. Makes sense at this, yeah. And then the question ends up being like, I like Traverse the Outlands and I like Caravan Vigil because of the morbid. I probably like Sakura Tribe Elder. I'm gonna listen to Renshai a little bit here. I think I'm gonna go and put the Chandra's Ignition a little bit in here since we're maybe cutting down on the creatures. Maybe not. We're just worried about, yeah, we can cut those. We can make this more spell based. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Right around there. Not doing too bad. Let's see here. All right. Spell removal. Fight. We'll just put, that'll be a big thick one right there. Oop. All right. Straight damage. That is removal. Straight to the face. Boom. That's more of a lure effect. That is fighting. Direct. That's a force block, which is that effect. There. I don't know if I care about this anymore because it's just Turgrid. So we'll cut that. Saw in Half is a questionable card at this point. I don't have Dockside in here either. Probably ran out of proxies on that. For now, I think we can get rid of this. Saw in Half. I think we're going loose on the creatures here. Don't quite know where to put that. That's targeted removals. Fight. Mass block. It's probably my wrath effect right there. Having to block, that is direct. I don't know what to do with this one. Just unique. That's probably targeted. I think Ashling's a little slow. There's no evasion. We have plenty of sacrificing going on anyway. We'll put that there. This is a lure effect. That is straight up. That is power. That is that. Bloop. We cut the other one, so we'll cut Professor Onyx at this point. Tetsumak is there. This is some type of wrath. All right, let's gift to the deity. I still like this one. I still like it. And I like lure. I think I can get rid of alluring scent though. I think what this can do is this can start like forcing, like making it able to like go unblocked for everybody attacking my opponents. I like that. Let's see here. Invasion plan. I'm down with that one. All right. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike. All creatures able to block target creature this turn too. So I kind of got rid of enough of that. I think we can cut that. Is that a fuse? Is that a fuse? Double strike. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's look at our relative targeted removal. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we get rid of Visions of Ruin. I kind of want to play with Culling Ritual and see what that does. I have not been able to play with that at this point. Six Slime makes sense with the Death Touch stuff going on. I have not gotten to play with Tetsumak yet. I think it works quite well in here. And I like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the exile effect. Let's get rid of Baleful Mastery. I like the idea of Beast Within and then giving them a creature to block with and then having to sacrifice another one. Do we calling? Well, I mean, okay, here's a problem that maybe this is the reason why we're doing this here is if they have like a treasure themed deck, like it's easy to sacrifice clues and treasures to Zangief, right? Okay. All right. I probably don't like any of the fighting things other than Tracker because it's repeatable. Target player gains X life where X is the greatest power. Yeah. Yeah, we'll cut those 3 and we will keep Ovenwald Tracker for now. Killing Wave and Torment to Hellfire. I like at this point Archfiend of Depravity, Torolf, Surigama. I think I like all of these. We're still going to have a lot of removal here. And then this is the dealing damage to the face. This might be good, but it's going to be really, really intensive. So we'll get rid of that. And I think Soul's Fire can probably get cut. Like I'd rather just have it 1 cheaper and deal it to a creature. There, and there. This might be too much because I'm going to want to attack, right? Maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, that could be nice, where I can target the creature that I wanna kill and have them sacrifice something. Yeah, that could be nice. I like these 2 with the death touch idea. I That's kinda true, isn't it? Repercussion works your way though too. Um, and I'm not too worried about that. Like, I think eventually Runes of the Dais and the trample and all that kinda stuff, I think that'll slowly get through if that sticks around. 3. Alright, so part of a problem here is I thought I was gonna have more of these types of cards, and I don't think I do. And so those, like, graveyard type synergies I was looking for aren't really gonna work here. I like these cards though, so we'll stick with that for now. Not too bad. Let's see here. Let's actually get a count of where we're at now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 30, 30, 30, 90, 11. So 111. Not too bad. Not too bad. Doing a lot better than the other one. Oh, that was rough. That's the whole part here, Essex, is just cutting and working my way through it and having people talk with me or plenty of people said that they enjoy building decks with me as I'm doing this as well. Maybe I have like a calming manner voice about it, but oh man, it's just I on our podcast, I just say, like, just make sure that you're cutting cards, be confident. The cards aren't going anywhere. Like, you can always just slip them back in if something's not working, right? It's better just to get the deck together and try it out like gold fishing, and then you'll know what works, doesn't work, too high, too low. The more you play with it, the more you'll learn about it. And so just cutting I'll be able to get this down to 70 cards tonight without wasting too much time. And so, um hopefully this can kind of help you. I'm going to go in CMC order just to see how the curve is looking, and we'll work on that right here, and you'll be able to kind of see how things work. But I think my spell slinging spot is not going to work as well as I had hoped it would. And so, threes. It's generally a one. The we'll see how this goes. I have a feeling I normally am in the 2 and 3 and 4 range. That's where I wanna be. I get to draw enough cards, play enough stuff. Uh, 2, 4? There's probably a 4. 1, that's a 2. Generally gonna be 5, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. That wasn't too good, yeah. Yeah, we'll see if that makes it. I'm generally not that mean. And also we play games on, through YouTube, and stealing people's stuff is a pain in the ass, so I generally just try and avoid it for that reason. But it is enjoyable to torture your friends in person. And I think this would Turgid would work really well in this deck. To um it's free threes. There's that. Ooh, that's a sixer. I don't think Torolf's gonna be worth it. That's gonna be a bummer. I liked some of those ideas for Torolf, but I don't think it's gonna work. 5. I think this might be more of a like blocking strategy. 2 and 2. All right. That's our deal. Let's a little look at this curve. I'm all right with those. For our wraths, along with Chandra's ignition. It's not necessarily the point of the game for me. I enjoy being mean, but there are limits that I have. Renshai, who's a regular, always is trying to talk me into playing stacks, and sometimes you just gotta like play your style. So it's Turgid is nice in the 99. I wouldn't build it as a commander. And in this deck, these are the only mass ways I'd be able to get it with Torment and Killing Wave to get a bunch of creatures with Turgid. Otherwise, it's slow value gaining with Zangief, and I'm much more likely to be okay with that. And it's still a grinding game. That's generally what I try and build my deck to. I don't like to win outright. I don't play combo. I don't tutor, but generally my games are fun, and that's what I'm aiming for. Kasurigama's definitely in. And so is Rishkar's expertise. I like those quite a bit. I think Warstorm Surge probably fits more in with what's going on. And Tetsamok probably is just another wrath effect that I don't want. I don't, because I think I like the two sack effects with the X spells, and I like Chandra's ignition. We'll probably skip on this. And I still am okay with Harvest of Souls. All right with that. The other thing that I didn't think about with Chandra's ignition is all of my creatures are having death touch, so it's just going to work in the deck. So Chandra's ignition works. Um, I like traverse the outlands in my tiny bones, but even the friend group suggested switching her to the commander. Oh, really? Oh, that is a kind friend group in my opinion. Runes of the Deus is going to go in. Um, Soul's Majesty and Garrick. Turgid, I think, goes in. Like I was saying, I think my spell slinging idea is not going to fit. Oh, yeah, Abadiah. Don't get too excited about that, though. Alright, I think we're gonna just cut all of the, spell slinging ideas, though. So, Double Vision, Backdraft Hellkite, and we'll get to the other ones that are doing that. Acidic Slime still works in my mind. I think we have to cut Crash and probably the other slime. I still like Xenagos just because of enough trample in here? Question mark. Gift of the Deity for the lure effect. I'll have to see how many lure effects we actually have in here. Burning Anger works on so many of my cards in here, and so I think I like it still. Along with Archfiend, I think that keeps things. That's another wrath. I'll have to check on how many wraths I have. Black Market still totally works. Stinging Study. What am I thinking there? Is the hey, Obadiah, is that line, is that from, Wreck-It Ralph? It took me a while to get there. I knew I'd heard it somewhere, but I think it's Wreck-It Ralph, right? That was a good line. Alright, Stinging Study. Will we might need smaller draws because I think I have the green the big ones, which are nice, like Garrick, Soul's Majesty, and then there's one more, right? Rishkar's Expertise. But if the curve is high, then those kind of cards aren't doing so well. This will get me 5, lose me 5. I think we'll cut that because I think I like the ones at 3 for that at that point. Alright. I still like the Menace thing. That does a lot of work. Um, Culling Ritual. Yeah, I still like that. I think Torolf has to go though. Like we don't have that many effects. We have like 5 plus the couple like Halana, and that's just not reliable. It deals 3 damage to any target, return to its owner's hand. As long as it's legendary. It deals. Yeah, that would have been cool. I definitely would have thought about that if this was like the creature deals 3 damage. Um yeah, Torolf can go, I think. I still like Halana, Silent Arbiter. We'll get rid of Storm Kiln. I don't think that's happening. Seize the Day still works. Gore Claw's still a maybe. I like Driven to Despair seems sweet in here. Deathcap Ritual. Nayeth still works for me. Reaper might be too expensive just for scrying. I don't think I care about the scry. I think we cut that. Still like Poison Tip and Questing Beast. Let's see here. Cultivate, Lure, Invasion Plans, Beast Within, Maelstrom Pulse, Chaos Warp, Agent of the Fates might not work like I wanted it to. I still like it though. Yeah, Death Touch, Menace, Brutal. Whenever you attack, put a shield counter on it. That works. I think we cut Rhythm of the Wild. I don't have many haste enablers in here in Zangief. So it has to somehow make it around a turn. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're worried about? Putting the 1/1 counters on the Death Touchers is always nice. Yeah, we can keep that around. Kodama's Reach, Zavala, Leyline Prowler. I think I like better than this Undercity Scrounger. I don't have anything that can untap stuff. Yeah, we can cut the Undercity Scrounger. Bestial Fury. Ronus still makes sense to me. Mage Slayer, Morbid, Painful, and Read the Bones. That's what I was saying at the cheaper for losing life. We said we're gonna cut Ravenous Slime along with the other guy, Crush. Hooded Blightfang still seems dope in here. I need to do an assassin, mercenary, and rogue count at some point. Mayhem Devil. Yeah, I got some sacrificing stuff. Eternal Witness works here. Toshiro and Magara, I think, get cut, which is again a bummer. And Glissa, I think just works. I think it works. I need to adjust it to have more artifacts in here, probably. At that 3 spot. Let's see here. All right, Sakura Tribuilder. Like we were trying to get rid of a lot of those creatures. We still, we build up quite a bit. All right, Score Tri Builder makes sense. Is there any fact that allows me to like sacrifice a creature? What was that? What's Goblin Bombardment do? Does that deal the damage or does the creature do the damage? I'm looking it up right now. Let's see here. Goblin Bombardment does the damage. Womp. Womp womp. All right. Rampant growth, probably okay. We can switch that up into whatever, 3 visits or whatever. I like those in there. Bite down, flesh and blood. Smoke makes sense to me, especially if we start getting rid of the tapping creatures and go strictly to like the 2 mana rampers, which means that we might be able to go back to the if we go more spell based, then we can go back to like that. Or yeah, maybe. Okay. Tibalt's Trickery is nice. Swiftfoot Boots, Heroic, Destined, Rapid Vigor, Golgari Charm, Deathcap Captain. I don't dislike you. Gifted, Cheville, Stroionic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Starting to slow down on the cuts here. We can get rid of Scepter. All right. Resonator still works. Cheville. Yep. Yep. Season of Growth might not work. Yep, that's something that I think we can cut. We're not targeting our creatures. We might have enough auras in there to make it work, but it's not working like I was hoping to, if that makes sense. Okame, Setessin. I think this is probably the worst one. So I think we can probably just cut. Madcap with the Menace is still pretty good. Red and green, cost 1 less. Only because of the Death Touch. We'll have to relook at that. Golgari Charm and Rapid Vigor. Is that something that I care about either way? I have a lot of. I'm not going to have too many wide creatures. Yeah, we can cut those. Yeah, that's that lure effect. That's what's keeping it there. Heroic, Swiftfoot, Tibalt's, Smoke, Flash, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And then if that's the case, we'll keep Sakura Tribe Elder in there, but that'll change to something else for ramp. Maybe we just cut it now. We'll cut that. We might go back to more spell based ideas. Probably don't dislike that idea. Try and go a little bit taller, a little more Voltron-y. Let's see there. Toshiro, Magara, because that doesn't have to be just removal. That can be the ramp and stuff like that too. Stormkiln. I probably still like Double Vision. And the Hellkite is a maybe. I think we just cut the Hellkite either way. Let's see here. Saw in half. We can definitely get rid of that, can't we? I think we can go with let's see here. Okay. Looking all right there. I think we add those back in. Let's look at our one spot here. Tracker's good. Not of this world. I'm down. I like Tameo's safekeeping. All right, let's look at these. We can cut Elves of the Deep Shadow at this point and have the 1, 2, 3. Soul Ring. Yeah. 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 Bequeathal. Deflection. I like that. Okay. All right. We're doing all right here. What are we? Hour 40. A little bit of water. Let's break this up into types, card types, just to see how many creatures we actually have rolling around these parts. Instant. Excuse me. Creatures. Creature. Yeah, because I think we'll want like probably artifacts that ramp instead of the creatures, like Mind Stone, so that I can get back Glissa, stuff like that. Guess I can go through and check out how many that actually affects at this point. Plenty of auras in here, though. All right. Still tons of creatures in here. Oof. Woof. All right. Still dig that. Primal Garrick. Let's see here. Torment and Killing Wave. Rishkar's Expertise. Chandra's Ignition. Culling Ritual. I mean, I have plenty of wraths at this point. Not necessarily. That's some huge ramp, and I got a couple of bigger spells. Okay with it at this point. Driven, yeah. Maelstrom Pulse, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach. Those might need to go down into the rampant growth area. Especially if I start thinking about taking out those creatures. Yeah, let's cut those at this point. Try and lower that curve a little bit. Yeah. Okay. All right. Look at enchantments. Let's see here. Warstorm Surge. It's cool. I think it works really well with the Death Touch idea. Runes of the Deuce probably doesn't do anything outside of Zangief here. Green, it gets lure. Ugh. Let's see here. I think we can cut Warstorm Surge just based off of like being expensive. Burning Anger is probably too slow. This creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. I mean, it'd be nice on Zangief, but at the same time, like having lure effects and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think we cut that. Black Market still seems solid. Lure, invasion. Each creature blocks whenever able. So that does force me to like get rid of my death touch guys. Somebody attacks in with like one big creature. Each creature blocks whenever able. So like all out block this big creature when all you would have to do is one. That's a good question. Um, I think we have to cut it just for that. Like that'd be a huge loss. Death touch creatures are nice because you can just like avoid them. Family's Favor still works. I like Rhythm of the Wild. Plus one Bestial Fury. Well, library, cap skills. I like the idea of smoke now more that we're talking about getting rid of those creatures that tap for mana. Double vision also is nice. Rancor, sticky fingers, bequeathal. Yeah. I dig all those. And yeah. All right. Let's look at our artifacts. Not a lot in this bit. Like I said, I'll have to add in more just to make Glissa a little bit more impactful, even though it's a fantastic, first strike death touch blocker. That works for me. But all right, let's see here. Yep. Yep. Bada bing, bada boom. The only one that's kind of like questionable is maybe Mage Slayer, but it's getting that damage in for sure. And maybe the Great Henge isn't as good even though there's tons of creatures in there. So I need to get that creature count way down before I get rid of the Great Henge at this point. All right. Chaos Warp. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. I don't really have a problem with these. I think I'm gonna get rid of Band Together. And because I like the indestructible and the lure effects. That'll almost always work. All right. Plenty of creatures here. Let's do this right now. Might need to shrink that curve. I think we cut Agent of Fates, even though we might be all right with that. That's kind of a cool card. Threes. Actually, that's a good question. All right, let's anything with like parameters on it. A handful of instants. We'd want to up the instance for Toshiro maybe a little bit. All right. What is the question? Goreclaw, looking for power 4 or more. We'll go through and do that one first. Yeah, it exists for sure. That's an instant. All right. And then we're looking for assassins, mercenaries, or rogues. Nothing there. Assassin, mercenary. There is a rogue. So that's assassin, but I guess that for the attacking part, that's a rogue. So like the death part, assassin, mercenary, and rogue performer. Empire. So that's that. That's it. Other than itself as well, that affects. But I'm not going to be really being aggressive with it. So, and the only thing it does is give that death touch. I think we can cut Mary. This is probably all right. So the other question ends up being Agent of the Fates. How many cards can I target it with? There's a handful of things there. Now, are there any questionable cards for Goreclaw? Like reducing it by 2 is kind of nice. But are these all like reasonable? Kind of like that idea. Questing beast something I want to keep around? Probably not. Probably not. Rona still makes sense. Harvester still makes sense. Yep. Make it huge. Goreclaw worth it. 8. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's all right. Yeah, that at 1, I'm not mad about that. That's just a nice cheap guy. Kiln, Magar, Toshiro. I think we get rid of that guy. And Archomancer. Oh, that's actually a decent question after this, too. All right. How many Death Touchers do we have for this Hooded Blightfang? And I think there's probably plenty. There's that Death Touch. Boom. That has Death Touch. So there's plenty of Death Touch in here to make it work. Let's see here. We haven't cut much down. And we did want to see how many cards actually interact with Agent of the Fates, because then if that's the case, then Seed Time or that enchantment might be able to come back. That's something that would want to target. That could do it. Because like I can just be like, just target it. And everybody has to sacrifice 3 a creature. Um, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, but I'd do it in a pinch. I could target on that, but that just kill everything anyway. Nope. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think we can keep agent. Like, I think I'd. Ugh. Oh, never mind. Never mind. All right. Let's see here. All right, we're almost hitting 2 hours here. I'm probably gonna cut it off here in like the next half hour. I'm gonna go into like what their duties are. Duty. So let's do that, and then we'll probably call it a night. I don't think I'm doing too bad here. We'll do a count at the end too. See how close I got. All right. Let's see here. We might break up. Removal. Let's see here. That's death touchy. Oh yeah, there's a pump section. All right, we're pumping right there. That's drawing. We'll consider him a draw. Death touch. Death touch. That's a draw. That's like graveyard shenanigans. Death touch. That is Manias. That is a pump. Removal. Graveyard. Don't even know what to do with that. We'll consider that removal. That's fine. Graveyard. There we go. Mana, mana, mana. Draw. Graveyard. What do we consider that? Like probably card advantage in the end. Bump. That is protection to a degree. That is more ramp than anything. That's also more ramp. Removal. Protection. Draw. Oop. Yeah. Let's see here. Protection, draw, there. Ramp, that's draw. Removal. Draw, draw, ramp, draw, removal, which is really a ramp card. Bump. Removal. Draw. Protection. That's protection. Protection. That is draw, ramp, removal, doubling up, I guess. Technically removal. Draw, boost, boost. Protection, 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 removal, removal. All right. Well, these piles are starting to look a little bit more respectable. Because before they were downright scary. All right. So the extra death touchers that are hanging around gain me life, gain me life, gain me life, and real cheap. I think Bone Picker is fine to cut, even though it'd be perfect in here. But, lifelink, attack for a life. Whenever a creature dies, gain a life. Like, that's kind of nice. That incremental spot. I'm happy with that. All right, this is the last bit. We're going to do this and then I'll count it out. We'll see where we're at. All right. Special bits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those graveyard doubling up stuff. I like the idea of like double vision. This does hit. This can create an army. Ewit is nice. Glissa, I think I'll adjust things. Strionic Resonator. I could copy like Glissa. I could copy. I wouldn't copy that, but there's plenty of things that I can be copying. Maybe like Toshiro or Magar. Yeah. All right. All right with that. All right. Let's go with. Let's get rid of these guys. All right. Ramp package 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's right in that range. I wouldn't cut anything. All right. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's see if we can get that down to like 15. Yeah, Death Ritual, Rishkar, Soul's Majesty. Yep. Bequeathal, Naeth. Yeah, Turgrid is fake, but it's. I probably don't want to be aggressive. Combat damage to a player. Question ends up being like, is that worth it? Harvest of Souls I've always found being a bit expensive. I feel like I'm kind of high. All right. No, we're cutting that. Cutting Soul of Harvest. We'll be all right with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, 16. I'm okay with that. I feel like Okame Adversary, I can be a little aggressive with that with like the trample. Effects. Probably all right with that. Okay. um, let's do protection here. Heroic, Tibalt's Trickery, Not of This World, Deflection SWAT. Oh, I should add in Bolt Bend, as Jesus was asking a little bit. He mentioned it to Adam, but I was like, oh, that would fit here. I just forgot to get it. Smoke probably still works. Rhythm, Family Favor. I really like that in here. I dig it. So a little bit of the problem here is like a Silent Arbiter and Frontier Warmonger. That means like he's unblockable at that point because you need two and only one can block. So I guess Silent Arbiter goes against some of that lure stuff. I have a handful of cards like that. Okay. Silent Arbiter doesn't work with those, so that makes sense to me. Smoke might slow me down quite a bit, but I think it's perfect in this deck. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For now. All right, let's go with these pumps. Let's try and Mage Slayer makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Do I care about? That's a maybe. Yep. I like that idea. I like it. Madcap, Xenagos, Falthus. All right. I think Gift of the Deity can go away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's a lot of pumps still. We'll have to definitely reduce that off camera. We'll have to figure that out. All right. Removal. Actually, removal. All right. Let's see here. That's anything, anything, creatures, anything, creature, anything, anything. And then that's just like targeting these creatures. That effect. Creatures. Anything. Okay. So we have wraths 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which generally is not my deal. That's kind of a lot. Hmm. Hmm. I I still like Tracker. Ovenwall Tracker. Halana makes sense. I like that better than Surge or Storm Surge. Even though that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can get rid of Mayhem Devil. I think I could do that, even though it'd be fine. Pulse, Chaos Warp, Beast Within. So the question ends up being like, it's instant speed. These two are instant speed, which I like with Toshiro. Maybe Pulse is kind of like another small wrath thing that can get rid of treasures, tokens, stuff like that. That might be overrunning the board, which is nice. Being able to hit whatever you want with those kind of 3, 4 cards right there make a ton of sense to me. Because again, they can't sacrifice the tokens. You can just get them. All right. I like Chandra's Ignition. Kind of what we were talking about. It's just all out wrath against Zangief. That's fine. You get rid of your own stuff too. I'm effectively having less creatures, which I'm okay with. But still too many creatures. Like I still have way too many. Um, is there anything I like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like those. This is a sorcery, which is a bit of a bummer, but it has the fuse. So it has extra stuff to it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. 18 along with Zangief getting some. All right. So is the question. Hmm. I think we can get rid of Killing Wave. Just lowering the amount of wraths. Don't want to slow the game down too much. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus, 5.5. Um, all right, let's see where we're at. Hopefully we're down in the lower 80s at least. All right. 1, 2, 20, 20, 20. All right. 20. So we are at 82. So called it. How do we do that then? I mean, we're lower 80s. If I do one more round, I'm probably good to go. I can figure this out on my own. Well, appreciate everybody that came out and chatted with me and took a look at the deck. And Zangief seems like it's going to be pretty sweet. And if you got any suggestions, put them in the comments. And hopefully you had a good night. Thanks. Bye.